Gentlemen, we're live.
All right.
Where do you want me?
B Naughty's getting a beer.
We'll get him in here. We can start.
You just want me sitting here?
Yeah, we're fine.
Oh.
Right here.
Sit there.
Pony right up. Yeah. Get over in here. I can't.
Oh, I gotta grab my.
Hey, Jim, you
what's
want to
left
watch
of my.
the camera angle? Make sure we're in the. Yeah. Make sure we're in here fine. You can see Steve fine right now.
Yep. Yeah, he's cut off a little bit.
Yeah, Steve, move over.
His arm, just his arm.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
All right, be in there. Good
No,
right
that's
now?
good. No,
All
he's
right.
good.
Man Cave Sports live here from Surly Brewing in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Getting prepped to go to game one of the series between the Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. You can bring those, Brian. We got it live and raw here. Anyways, so we did the preview show on Sunday. Probably going to need to move over. Yeah. All right, get closer. You know, the seating at Target Center, it's going to be the same anyways. But we're all headed to the game tonight, the Man Cave crew, minus a couple of cornerstones. Brett, we know you'll be watching. Walter. So we did the preview show the other night on Sunday in regards to the other three series, all of which saw road teams, steal the first game. So we're hoping to break that trend tonight. And got an interesting series of a lot of subplots. In particular, obviously you got the matchup of Ant Edwards going against Steph Curry, which is legendary. People are excited for that. But you have Jimmy Butler, former Timberwolf, much maligned and much despised here, except for people like Nan here. And you got Draymond Green, who has history with Rudy Gobert, with Ant Edwards, with, let's be honest, every franchise in there. If you're not a Golden State Warriors fan, do you really even like Draymond? Probably not. But anyways, an interesting series. We'll start talking about some of the matchups, whatnot. Steve, I'll start with you. What do you think the Wolves have to do to win this series? Obviously, they're playing a seasoned team. Even Jimmy Butler, who's had playoff history, etc. They're definitely a tough test for them. What do you think they have to do to beat the Warriors?
I think the big thing is getting out and running. They got to move. They've got to come out with energy, and they got to hustle. Again, Golden State doesn't go very deep. Gary Payton is a game-time decision. We've got the size. We've got the length. One person that you're not hearing a lot in social media land right now is about Julius Randle. And as much as I've jumped on him all season, nobody's talking about him. And this guy was just a monster in the last series, and nobody's really talking about him. I mean, for Golden State doesn't have any real height, and we've got Rudy, Nas, Randall, Jaden. TSJ can come in and spell out minutes and pick up fouls. So I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I don't see them. I don't see Golden State being able to keep up. If Steph is good for probably 2 wins, but I don't see them being able to keep up with our size and length. And we come out and run, we're going to take them down.
All right, you talked a little bit about the bench. Obviously, the Timberwolves, they're known to run 8 deep. They'll throw out Jalen Clark and or TSJ like they did in this last series to spell some minutes. But for the most part, the Wolves are running 8 deep in this playoffs. Ramon, talk a little bit about Golden State's bench. I mean, obviously, they got a couple of players that Kuminga that has been kind of a lightning rod for Warriors fans, and Steve Kerr seems to have this weird thing where he doesn't want to play them. But talk about the bench matchups between the Timberwolves and the Warriors.
Question number 1. I was just telling Brian this, that I took kind of a deep dive into the Warriors roster just a few minutes ago, and I'm pretty surprised, even shocked at how thin it is. Kayvon Looney, very good offensive rebound, but I think he's seen better days. Moses Moody, lottery pick, never really panned out. It's a shot occasionally, decent defender, but he's not nothing too special. GP3, Gary Payton III, I think you mentioned, he's day-to-day, he's been ill. It sounds like he was warming up, though, before the game, so he's already warming up, so it sounds like he's going to play. But he's a good defender, but he's not somebody that you really have to guard out to the three-point line. You just really have to watch out for his cutting, his backdoor cuts. And Kuminga, I mean, just a total afterthought. Wasn't he part of the trade?
I believe that was the pick
sent over
for
7 to get D'Lo here, and people were like, "Oh, this dude's going to be so great." And he's a complete afterthought. He played like 6 or 7 minutes. Yeah, he played 6 or 7 minutes, and isn't. I think Steve, you said he's not part of the game plan. I mean, that's pretty sad to say.
Yeah.
And the Wolves bench hasn't played that well so far in this. Well, in the playoffs, they weren't great in the first round, but I do believe they're due for something, and they have a massive advantage in this series. The Warriors, I mean, are relying on two 35-year-olds in Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, and then a 37-year-old in Steph Curry. Legendary players, not taking anything away from them. But if you take a step back and see how thin they are, the Wolves have in that category.
So the Timberwolves closed out the series with the Lakers in 5 games, finishing the series last Wednesday. I wouldn't say it was a dominant series. Obviously, the 4 games to 1 is nice. However, 3 of those games were very close to right down to the end. On the flip side, the Warriors were in a life and death battle with Houston. And very physical series, very chippy. Obviously, I think that a lot will happen here. But Brian, what do you think that means for the Warriors' chances? They were just playing 48 hours ago. Obviously, their 3 star players, Butler and Draymond, are 35. Steph's still hanging in there at 37. I mean, do you think the wear and tear from those series against the Rockets, plus their advanced age, is that going to be a factor in this series, particularly tonight?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, Razor and I, on the way over here, we discussed that we're younger, we're faster, we're stronger, bench is deeper, and they're really running just these guys. I mean, I can't see that this is not going to be like a problem. I mean, they're old, they have a pedigree, but one thing that I'm really worried about is the circus atmosphere of Gray and Jim. I'm kind of thinking that you and the Rachel exchange might get a bit further. I would just kind of lay off that and be quiet. It's just, what's the circus atmosphere going to be? And as Razor and I were talking on the way here, hey, if we jump on them in the first quarter, this whole question isn't going to matter. I think we can run them out of the building. And as Mr. Steve said, Jimmy and Steph, that's 2 wins. Just having them on there. I mean, we just got to jump on them, and they're tired. Don't listen to them. Let's go.
All right, let's talk about an X factor that I see based upon Game 7 between the Rockets and Warriors.